What's poppin',
Hey,
y'all?
hey,
How
it's
y'all
your girl,
doing?
Lady
And I'm your boy,
Free.
Pastor J. We
Y'all,
are
we are
back in the
back
building.
in the
And guess what?
building.
We missed you guys. For the last couple of weeks, we've been having guests. But we are back. Just me
Back.
and the wife today. It's just us. We're gonna have a conversation.
Just gonna have a
A
conversation.
real important conversation that we've been blogging on YouTube. You know, this just been something we've been doing just lately, and just been kind of running across a couple of things, a couple of videos that really brought a level of concern that we just kind of wanted to address today. So today's topic. Do I get the chance to? Wow. So today's topic is
You treat my child different.
you treat my child different.
Yeah.
You treat my child different, and like I said, we seen a couple of videos. We actually want to share one with you guys in a little
Not
bit.
yet.
In a little bit.
Okay.
And that's in a little bit. We want to
Okay.
share one with you guys in a little bit because we really just gotta want to talk about something. But before we get started, we just thank you, God. We bless your name we bless you, God. We honor you today, God. Lord, look on us as we do what you've called us to do. We thank you for this platform, God. God, we want some soul to cry out and want some mindset to be changed, God. And as our goal and our desire is to be different but yet impactful. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So listen,
Amen.
listen,
God.
today's topic is real dear because it's not only something that we've seen, but we've actually kind of been through it ourselves. And I see today in today's society that people raise children. I really believe today's society there's a level of difference in how they raising their kids. Now I'm not sitting here making it a problem of how people raise their kids, but I just know I'm from the old school. I'm from the old school, and it took
Okay.
a nation it took a
Right. It
village,
did.
but when the village was involved, there was no restrictions on the village because
Right.
there was no restriction. It was you don't touch my child and you don't
Right.
and I
Yeah.
ain't gonna fight you because you said so. Not even touch, but today you can't even say anything.
You can't even say
You can't
anything.
even correct the kid without it being an issue. I've seen parents go up to the school and fuss the teacher out because they were instructing the kid
Like teachers are supposed to
like
do.
teachers are supposed to do. First of all, she is an adult. That's the first thing. So you gotta teach these children today. Children today do not respect adults.
Right.
They don't respect adults.
So when we're going into our topic, you treat my child different. What we're talking about at this point is not necessarily teachers, but we're talking about when you're in a relationship with someone.
no,
And
no,
that
I know. I just wanted to
no,
kind
I'm
of
not
go.
talking about
Oh
what
yeah, I
you said.
got
I'm
you. I
just
got you.
kind of
I got
explaining
you.
it. First of all, let's go back just a little bit. Thank you so much for joining us here at Shift Real Talk TV.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
This
yes,
is
ma'am. Yes,
Shift
sir.
Real Talk Tuesdays, and we air every Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, right? So if this is your first time joining us, please subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel, which is Shift Real Talk, and make sure that you share because this content, trust me, it's going to add value to your life. All right? So we're expecting likes and shares and subscriptions so that lives can truly be changed by the content from this podcast. Now, you treat my child differently. We're gonna show a video clip just as Pastor Jay said in a minute because this video clip is about a female being very transparent about how she feels about her man and his son and how his son feels like he's being treated differently from the other kids.
Yes, I understand that, baby girl. I wanted to set the pick tone before we even get to that point because, again, just remember, it's not just in relationships. Like I said, like I was saying earlier, that when it comes to kids, I really believe a lot of people raise kids from their own level of fear, their own level of pain,
Right.
their own level of protection.
Yeah.
You know, people feel like I've been abused or I've been beat or I had beatings when I was little,
Right.
so I'm not going to beat my child now. And the thing is, it's like, you know, I got beatings when I was
Right.
I got beatings.
I didn't get beatings.
Oh, I got
I got
beatings.
whippings. That's different.
Same thing. Beating, whipping.
I had to go pick a switch off the tree.
Yeah,
and I
my
got-
great grandmother made me go, and my grandmother made
Right.
me go to the tree and pick the thickest branch off of that tree.
Oh, you had a thick one.
Oh,
We
you had a thick- and-
we
and
had to get
with
one
the
that was
leaves.
kind of green. Yeah, and you
It
swipe them leaves
the leaves off and,
right.
get that. And you.
And if
No!
you get the wrong one, she gonna go pick one for herself. Yeah, that was my mama.
So I didn't come out traumatized because I've heard somebody say, I really heard somebody tell me that they don't discipline their kid because it may cause him to be traumatized.
Right.
And I was like, and this is what he was basing his information off of science. And I said, bruh, I went to the school of discipline.
Right.
I was not only a teacher of the school, but I also was a student.
Right.
So I had to go through, but it didn't traumatize me because what it did was it really helped me to learn to respect those people that I was around, that my mom.
Right.
So my mom was able to let me go to this person's house or this person's house,
Right, yeah.
because there was a level of, you act this way here, you better act that way there.
And then, to be honest, let's just keep it funky. When you have children who get to just run amok, and adults rather, have no authority at all. It's like the child gets to do whatever they want to do. They don't get no discipline. You can't talk to their kids about nothing. You can't discipline them. And I'm not talking about whooping them or anything. I'm talking about just correcting them. Because if you're going on the wrong path, then correction is in order. You would not, if you love somebody, you wouldn't want that child to keep going in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but then at the same time, you expect people to want to babysit your kids, or you expect people to treat your children. I mean, just being honest, when your child is unruly, that adult is not going to be super sweet, and it's okay, and it's not going to happen like that. It just doesn't.
It really bothers me to literally, especially lately, man, like there's a shortage of teachers who really have quit.
They quit.
They've quit. They've given up on teaching because they can't even. They are getting beat up by the kids.
Disciplinarians
They are getting beat up by the kids, and it's like you
Fought,
cannot put your
cursed out.
hands on the kids, but the kid can put his hands on the teacher.
Right.
I've never seen. I could not. Man. When I did, now mind you, I was a class clown.
Me
But
too.
even being a class clown, the teacher put me out the class, and I had to
Right.
go.
I got put out one time.
I had to go.
I remember my whole catchphrase was, I was only laughing.
Yeah.
But I knew what my laugh was like. It was loud and it caught the attention of everybody else. Or I may have done something silly, knowing that the class is going to just go crazy.
I'm telling you.
So, yeah. But at the same time, I knew I was going to get in trouble if I got caught.
It behooves me. And like I said, we're gonna get into this video shortly. We just kind of, giving some people time to come on, and we understand, what's going on. But the whole thing is like, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I really had to think about this too, because even when it comes to our kids today, we've excused and we've given reason for a lot of the behaviors that we
give excuses
that we've allowed them to actually be free and express. I guess what they call it to today's society is freedom of expression, or they should be allowed to express themselves. They should be allowed to say what they want to say. They should just be allowed. And it's like allowed to just do what?
Without guidance.
Without the guidance. Because
Yeah.
the Bible says this: train up a child in the way that it should go. They should go.
Yeah.
And when they get old, they will not depart from it. So the thing is, you have to put it in. First of all, as a child, you don't even know what to express.
Right.
You don't know what to express.
Right.
Only thing you know to express, I don't want it. Now. What? You let a child tell. Ooh, you let my son tell. But see that's just how I mean, that's just how I am.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, though, it's like we have to find the balance between being extreme in how you discipline your child and then not disciplining the child at all. We have to find the balance in that, because if you're somebody who's trying to help teach the child in a school system or after school program, or even in the home, like let's say you start dating somebody or even marry somebody that already has small kids, you are not going to have any kind of input. You're not going to have any say so. You're not going to be able to do nothing, because you are not going to be the authority in that house. It's going to be the child.
That Ashley said, yes, they're expressing themselves a little too much. That's why it's okay now for boys to wear nail polish. You know what's crazy? Ashley, you're right. I got a client, and I got a couple of clients that when they come to me, they're wearing nail polish, and they tell me it's a level of expression.
It's expression, right?
Because nail polish, it says nail polish. It doesn't have a gender on the polish. So because it was a young man, he told me that he don't see what's wrong with boys playing with dolls. There's no gender, and I was like,
right. Well, the thing is, we have to remember something. Hey, Pop Jesse, it's so good to see you today. And Felicia Rito, Prideaux, I'm sorry. I say Rito.
What up, sis?
Prideaux, we love you. It's so good to see you tonight. Okay, so listen, the topic we talking about tonight is you treat my child different. That's when you're in a relationship. And the person you're in a relationship with, whether you married or whether that person is dating and y'all in a actual situationship or just a serious relationship, and that person has a child, then the whole thing is we're going to talk about you treat my child different. Like, you came into this, I had children, but you don't treat my children like you treat your children. You don't treat my child. My child feel like they being what do you call it? Singled out, So we're gonna play a video.
Yeah, let's delve into this video.
Yeah, let's
y'all.
Go ahead and play a video.
We're gonna play this video,
and we want y'all feedback. Y'all gotta listen to what she's saying.
Listen to what she's saying, and we're gonna delve into this conversation. We're gonna. I
want to hear these comments too.
Come on, let's share this video.
Yeah.
Why my son? What do you mean? Why I got the camera in your face? Why do my son keep coming to me telling me that you treating him different than the rest of the kids?
Cause he is different than the rest of the kids.
How?
He's my son.
Cause he's not your son, but he's my son.
Right.
So you should be treating him like your son too.
No, he's not my son. He does not belong to me. It's your responsibility to take care of your son. I don't expect for when my kid. There's nobody taking care of my kids other than me. Talking about. They're your kids. So yes, you take care of our kids together and you take care of your son.
But you don't take care of my son. You don't treat my son like he family, like he part of our family.
He be here. I mean, he don't go without.
He be here. He live here. He go with his mother occasionally. What are you talking about?
Okay, but he's also not my son. Like, what do you want me to do? That's not my child. You want me to sit around and treat him the exact same as I treat my children? He's not my child. He's gonna feel different.
No, he shouldn't feel different. I'm not his mother. He should feel at home when he come to his damn house.
I'm not
his mother.
I'm not about to do this with you.
You're not his mother, but you my girl at the end of the day.
Right.
So you're supposed to be treating my son accordingly.
You act like I be knocking the Lord or something. I don't be doing nothing to him.
You don't gotta knock him upside his head for him. You might as well be doing that, not giving him candy, making him feel different than the rest of the kids.
First of all, your son is bad. I don't know what kind of training he got. It may have to have something to do with that ragged baby mama you got, but that's not on me.
At the end of the day, this don't got nothing to do with my baby mother. This don't got nothing to do with nothing else but you treating my son differently from the rest of the kids.
Your son is different than the rest of the children. He's not my son. Like I told you that from jump. If you don't start treating my kids, I told you that from jump. I told you that from jump that your child, I will, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna make sure he's straight. Like in regards to he's not gonna hurt himself or get hurt. But I also told you can't expect me to step up and be a mom to somebody that's not mine. I told you that. I don't think I have that capability. We had that conversation.
If this was vice versa, I would be treating your daughter accordingly. Just the same way I treat you, I'd be treating your daughter.
But you don't have to, because I didn't come to you with no outside children. I didn't come with you with a straight. I didn't come with you with that.
Wow. But
Did
you,
I?
But
Did
you,
I?
but you,
Did I put you in
but
that
at the end of the
situation?
day,
It's easy
at
for
the
you to
end of
tell
the
me
day,
when
you
you was
decided to
when
stay
you're not
with
in
me,
the
and you knew I
situation
had a
that you're
kid. You decided to stay with
Right,
me.
and so you should step up and take care of that extra whatever.
Wow.
That's on you.
Wow.
That's not on me.
You don't think that's just a little bit
So
childish?
you telling me I have a baby, I bring the baby home, you gonna take care of it and be a father?
If you had the kid before me and we getting in a relationship, why wouldn't I? That don't make sense not to.
I wouldn't expect you to. I wouldn't put that all on you. If you did that, that was up to you.
Wow.
But I wouldn't put that on you. That's a lot to put on my shoulders.
Look
what
at
you want
this,
me to
y'all.
do?
Y'all look at this. This
All
makes
right,
sense to y'all?
Look at it. Do it make sense? I mean, we've been together how long?
If you had a kid already,
now it's a problem.
and then me and you had
so
two
who said
kids,
something? Because
and
now
then
it's
you
an issue.
nobody had to say nothing to me. It was my son who said something.
Okay. Right.
I can see this.
So he's upset because he didn't get a piece of candy, little bad timeout when the other kids got to play. What happened?
No. My son is upset because he said that you was giving the other kids stuff, candy, juice, snacks, taking them outside, and he was making my son sit in the house.
Because he didn't deserve, because he be running around here like he don't have no sister, don't want to listen to
the kids we got already ain't bad.
So when I tell him stuff, he knows I'm not his mother. When I tell him stuff, he don't listen. So because he don't listen, guess what he don't get? The same everybody else get. And guess what I'm not going to do? Enforce nothing because that's not my child. So now I'm in a position to where all I got to do is tell him to sit in the house, let the kids do whatever they want to do, and wait till home because you're his father. He's not going to listen to me, and I'm not going back and forth with you about this.
So
I'm going to have a conversation with your son. Maybe if you got your son to
What are you talking about?
Right, okay. And?
My son is only going to
Our 3-year-old listens. What are you saying? What's your point? What's your point?
You
Our
just
3-year-old
unreasonable.
listens. Our 3-year-old listens. You want to know why
and you're not even reasoning about something that's logical.
You want to know why our 3-year-old listens to me? Because I'm their mother. Okay, so that's the point. So you figure it out. You figure out how to fix that.
If you don't start treating my son the right way, I'm gonna have to leave you. That's pretty much it.
All right, well get your son to listen, and we'll see. We'll go from there.
Get my son to listen.
Get your son to listen, and we'll go from there.
Listen.
Exactly. So are we done?
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa. Okay.
Ashley, you think she was wrong? Well, she's wrong, but she stated she spoke of this in the beginning, and he decided to stay ignorant.
Okay. So, okay, Pop Jesse said wrong.
Said he's wrong. Dad, you say she's
no,
wrong.
she's wrong. Okay.
Well,
Keisha and Scooter and Kia, thank you for joining us. We miss you. We love you. Okay, so I hope y'all saw the video.
Good. Yeah, I hope y'all saw it. And when we saw this raised even a lot of concern with me. First and foremost, they're in a wrong situation because first of all, that's his girlfriend. First of all, they shouldn't even let's just go back to the beginning. They are boyfriend and they are girlfriend trying to blend the family.
Right, okay.
That ain't gonna work first and foremost. You can't blend the family like that as a boyfriend and girlfriend.
And have those kind of expectations.
And have those kind of expectations.
Right, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So because what happens is because there's no covenant commitment, then what happens is the outside parent now has the say so. You know what I'm saying? Now have the say so and the influence of the child because this is nobody you're married to.
Right.
So the level of respect will not be you. Well, you ain't gonna have just any other chick. And I've heard you say, "Oh, you ain't gonna have just any other chick telling my kid what to do while they in this that ain't your wife." So the level of respect that could be given to this woman who I don't believe is wrong. I don't believe she's wrong.
And Marcus says she isn't wrong.
I agree with you, Marcus. I don't think she's wrong.
All right. I say that as I truly listened to what she was actually saying, everything she said is not wrong.
Yeah.
She was forthcoming. She said one thing. One thing she said, he is different because he's not my son. All we heard her say was he not my son. But the thing is, because he didn't come from me, we don't have that same kind of bond. And she also said, he tells me, you not my mom. And he don't listen to me. So because he doesn't listen to me, and he tells me I'm not his mama, then what happens is when he gets disciplined, when the other kids do what I say, because I am their mom, and they know what it is, basically, then he gets put in timeout while they get a chance to go out and play. She also said, I'm not finna enforce nothing because he don't listen to me. So basically she's saying, I'm not going to waste my time still constantly trying to do something that's not working when all I can do at this point without going overboard or out of control with it, let him sit in here inside and wait till you come home and deal with it. A lot of the stuff she may have said sounded wrong, but really listen to what she's saying.
Yeah, Marcus said she isn't mistreating the child. She's simply saying that he is different, and since they aren't married, she is not obligated. I totally agree.
And she also told him that. She said,
I'm not
don't
capable.
have the capacity.
I don't have the capability.
She said, I'm not capable of loving somebody else's child.
Or even, the point, see, and two, like you said,
like her own.
When there is no commitment, there still is a level of, you're not my mom. And rightfully so, because like I said, this was a situation that we've dealt with.
Right. Let me read Ashley's comment. She says, so it seems like he hasn't given her authority to discipline, and that does put her in a bad position.
Exactly.
Y'all, we got to change our perspective about what we think we hear. We can't hear from the place that we're in. We have to actually hear what she is saying.
And even though she was fussing, and
wouldn't let him get a word in.
But no, let's be honest here. Now, sometimes men, we do this. When the level of tone gets past a certain level, then we really, now our listening ear has been turned off. It has been turned off. So what we're doing now is we're trying to portray our point instead of really listening to what's being said, even if it's said in a certain tone.
Right.
I promise you, most men will cut that tone because you coming against the level of respect that I feel like you should have for me, because that's the desire, or that is the characteristic that every man desires in a relationship, and that is respect. So that's
what a man needs.
That's what a man needs.
Not just what he desires.
Yeah, that's what he needs.
Respect.
Exactly.
In a relationship.
Exactly.
Now, the thing that got me too is she said, he's not my son, and a lot of people won't even catch that. Like, okay, let me say this. For me, I was on the opposite end of that, because Pastor Jay has 4 children outside of me. Mm-hmm. And they are different than my son.
And I want to say this, but I do want to cut you off because I want to say this before you go in there. I really, when I looked at that and we actually discussed this, mm-hmm. I really looked at how unfair I was to you. And I really, because I actually put us in a situation where my sons, even though they loved you,
I love them too.
But and they loved you, like promise you they did. Mm-hmm. And they loved you. Yeah. Well, they do love you. But I really kind of put you in a situation where it was like my sons, you know what I'm saying?
And they trumped me.
And they kind of
even in our marriage,
Well, that only because I allowed that to happen before we were married.
Right.
But I didn't realize that because my objective was, if they can get along with you, then that'll show me whether we can be together. Right. So I measured how you treated my son. I measured that on the relationship that
me and you could potentially have.
But
even
and
after
that was dead
marriage, the thing that I think really caused that dynamic that you just spoke about was the fact that you was trying to make sure that there was peace between you and their mothers. So that left me powerless. I had no authority, no discipline. The only thing I could do was give good advice and be a cool person, not even mom, like just be a cool person to them, because my desire too was not that there will be conflict between you and their mothers, because that wasn't my desire. I always wanted it to be where we all had a mutual respect for one another. So mine was different. Like for me, for instance, and I'm not going to say which one of my babies, because all of them are my babies and I do love them dearly. But like one of my babies broke the window. Remember, he bust the window out of the apartment and left it like that all night. And we wasn't living in that great of a neighborhood. We was kind of in the hood a little bit. So when I asked about it the next day, what happened, and it was on the second floor, the statement was, I think somebody tried to break in or broke the window or something like that. But I saw how the glass was laying. You know, women are detectives. We will detect some stuff. We don't even have to be trained to be a detective. But I saw how the glass was laying, and I knew that it was broken from the inside, right? Now, TJ would have got a whooping for 2 reasons. Number one, he would have got a whooping for breaking my window and not saying nothing, because somebody could have come in that night and harmed all of us. Number two, he would have got a whooping for lying to me. Because you don't lie to your mother, your parents. You don't lie, period. So I couldn't do that with my baby because he's not mine. I had to be understanding, and then I had to take it to the father, and you ain't do nothing about it. You kind of made an excuse for it. And it kind of hurt me because I was like, man, this sucks, like big time. And it was like other little instances in that. So
because again, like I go back to saying that, and thank you, Cassandra. Yes, please like and share this information about this podcast. But anyway, it is so true. And I think the relationship could truly be going smoothly, but at the end of the day, the level of power that you have is really taken away if you're not the biological parent, especially if the parent is fluent in, is active in the child's life or in the young adult's life. If that parent is active, then the respect level to more so goes to the parent. This is why God designed for us to have kids through marriage, through the institution of marriage, so that this would not be an issue.
Right.
But because this is a thing that we go through in pretty much not just in today's time, but period. This is something, a lot of us have kids that we did not marry the child's mother or the child's father.
And it's no book. Like people expect you to be perfect in how you are the bonus mom or the stepmom, or that's not the case. There is no specific way you could do it without hurting somebody's feelings at some point. Because as a wife, feeling like I had no authority in my home when the kids came over, that was a hard place to be. That could have caused a lot of confusion in a rift in our relationship. But what I had to do was I had to try to figure out, just like I don't know how to do this, he don't know how to do this. So I had to have a little bit more grace for the situation.
Yes.
But at the same time, this young lady on this video, she only spoke the truth, her truth. But today, I'm going to say this. We are not allowed to speak our truth if it goes against what the masses in the culture tell us. Yes. And that's not right. So she spoke her truth. She was very honest. She said some things that some of us wish we could have said. Like, your child don't listen to me. When I tell your child something, he don't or she don't listen to what I say. And it would be nice for you to come to me and say, okay, we're going to form a united front so we can handle this situation. And if I feel like there was something that was done, we're going to do that in private, like how it was back in the day. Our parents formed a united front. But today, everybody's so divided because I want to be the fun parent, or I want to be the better parent over the person that the child's supposed to look up to both of y'all. Felicia says blended families are very complicated and common. And she's right. They're very complicated. But people are crucifying this young lady because she spoke her truth.
And the reason why, too, Felicia, I totally agree with what you're saying. Totally. And it's sad because it really don't have to be complicated. But the thing is, because the other parent, or the parent that is the actual biological parent, they parent their kids out of their own level of protection.
Right.
So they don't allow for the blended family to come in and work, because and it could be like, maybe like we was talking earlier. When I was growing up, like I said, my grandmother, I would get whippings.
We had people at church that
had
authority
people
to
at church
whoop us.
that had the authority. To if he gets out of line, you have the permission, and that's what we don't give people who are in authority, or because what are we supposed to do? Obey those who have rule over us?
Right.
So the point is, we don't give those people who have rule over our children, we don't give them the authority to correct our children when they're wrong.
If that person loves your child and you have that person around your child, then obviously there's something about that person that makes you feel comfortable enough. You should be able to at least say, if my child disrespects you, if my child steps out of line, you have permission to correct bad behavior. And he was like, my child bad. Oh, now he know come on now. As parents, we know when our children, we know what bad look like.
Oh, we climbing up a wall,
we
running
know
up
what
and down
bad
a chair.
Look like.
First of all, why? I could not. First of all, even sitting in church, I could not move. I couldn't stand on the benches, climb on I had to sit still for the whole service. And even if I had to use the bathroom, I had to hold it till at least offering time when they allowed us to walk. And but they would not let me move.
And this the crazy part. Not only like if you were to see a child doing that, you would want to say, baby, don't do that. Get down.
Don't do it.
Or you will add a tag on that you really don't mean, because you might hurt yourself. You really don't mean that. You want that child to get down because they wrong, but you had to add the sweet spot. But then now today, a child could be popping you on the back of your neck during service. Popping you. And you can't do nothing but turn around and get them that little smile like,
we went to brunch the other day. There was this little kid, little kid, right? Now the parents, both of the parents, the mother and the dad, they walking the kid to the car, and he just falling out on the floor. I mean, and all he doing is going to the car, falling out on the floor. And he come on, Billy, come on, come on, don't do that. I was like, Billy, if you don't get your behind up and let's go to the car. I wanted to say it. I wanted to say, Billy, if you don't get your behind up and get in that car.
But instead, he picked him up and threw him over his shoulder. Put him over his shoulder. Threw a fit and was all out.
All of it. Couldn't even put him on the shoulder. He throwing a why little Billy throwing a fit? Why little Billy can't walk to the car?
His name was not Billy.
I just gave him a name. His little name was Little Billy.
Felicia said blended families are very complicated. Wait, that's not which one. She said it takes work to grow and blend it well. And it does. It takes a lot of work to grow and blend the family.
But this is my question though. This is my question. If we I gotta ask this question. Let me just ask the question.
Okay, ask it.
If we are able to give ourselves to this person,
come on.
If we're able to give ourselves, and you know what I mean when I say give ourselves, if we are able to trust this person with
our
us,
very, very self,
with the very being of the very most important part of ourselves, if we can give this to this person, then why don't we trust this person to be able to discipline or be a part of the blended family,
a genuine part?
Yes.
But then come back and say you treat my child differently. Yeah, because if TJ did that, TJ would have got his pop. Sorry.
But you know what though? But that's the thing
TJ though. TJ would have got it.
You're right, because the thing
I didn't abuse my baby, but he understood what it was, and he respects me today. That's my dude. I love him because he understands.
Why? And it's like because we don't want, and that's to bother me to this day.
What?
Because we don't want that woman or that man that we've given ourselves to. We don't want them. We're very protective over our kids. We're very protective of what you say to them. So we got to almost like be, and I know, like I said, I know sometimes we can't be blinded to the fact, but again, God gives us a sense of discernment. And then trust me, if we give things to God and we allow God to really show us who is able, because some people may not be capable to do some of the things that we need to do for our kids, because you got to really be careful who we allow our kids to be around.
Right.
We have to be careful. If
you're allowing that person to enter into your very soul, then you should know that same person is going to be around your children. So because
Ashley said, because you don't value yourselves, so you don't trust your judgment in people, you won't let them make decisions. Wow, that's deep. That's deep. You know what? I believe that's true, because that's the level of pain that we really or that level of fear or that level of like you said, that we don't value ourselves, and we look at this and we carry this emotions and we carry these certain things into our kids, so we protect them from our fear.
And some people raise their children based on how they feel like their children reflect them. So if that child is acting a certain way, that parent feel bad about themselves because they feel like that this is a part of them. Yeah. And the thing is, you have to look at your child for who your child truly is. If your child is doing a whole lot of stuff that's unruly, disruptive, and just off the chain, then you got to understand sometimes I heard one lady say, I love my child, but I don't like my child. I mean, and that's just their truth. It's like, cause I've allowed it to go too far. When you train up a child in the way they should go, and when they get old, that's the part. When they get old, they won't depart from it. That means that they may mess up along the way. But when they get older, they'll have something to draw from to bring them back from that place they took themselves to, that they shouldn't have taken themselves to. But if we don't train them up, they have nothing to draw from. And we wonder why our kids fighting in school and why our kids doing all of this, the things that we know represents us in a way. It's like, we should have seen it coming, but we didn't, because we didn't want to face the fact that this child was actually the way people was trying to tell you, your children. Come on now.
But look at this too. I can't blame it all on the child, and we can't, because
it's not their child's fault.
Before even the child is even involved in a whole nother blended situation, I gotta go back and look at the parent.
We have to.
I have to look at the parent, and I have to say this. Sometimes, you saw the video earlier, like you said, she was saying some things that sometimes we don't really get this information before we are even intimate with people that we get with. So she was saying, I'm very incapable of.
I'm not capable
of being a mom to a child that's not mine.
Yeah.
And what we do is we still get with this person when they're giving us, and they're being forthcoming of how they are or how they will be in our situation. Yep. So what we still do is we still try to make it work, and we'll argue with them to get them to change. But what she's saying is, this is who I am.
This is who I am.
So why do we still try to change? And I don't know whether we feel we got a Superman or a Superwoman or Wonder Woman,
complex,
Wonder Woman thing, and we feel like what we have can change this person. But so what we do is we get with these people, and either we have children with these people, or we bring our children into relationships with these people who are showing us who they are.
And they not good around your
children.
And
they're not good around your children, and they're not even willing to be a part, knowing that this is what is a part of you. So some people truly will not accept the fact that you come in with a whole nother kid that ain't got. Because some people say, I don't want to deal with that type of situation because I don't know the relationship between you and your baby mama or you and your baby daddy, whether he is still in and out of such and such and such. But the problem,
it's a lot of dynamics that go along with that.
And some of us truly, let's be honest now, because some of us are still dipping and dabbing with our baby mamas and our baby daddies. Some of us are still dipping. So the thing is, we're playing both sides of the fence anyway.
My God.
Sometimes we are playing both sides of the fence because we still want to have we still want to have the relationship, or we still want the relationship to be at a cordial level.
We don't want that person to have nobody else to have them. So
exactly. So we're truly being forthcoming and honest, and I can say this because I'm the first partaker, because I did that. I did certain things just to keep peace. I did certain things just not to argue, but the thing is, you got to really understand how tricky the enemy is. He will use those things that he know that even are fearful to you, that you won't even stand in authority to take dominion over. Because what did God do? He gave us dominion, and what we do is we get in situations that question the dominion that was given to us.
Man, let me tell y'all how God is so good.
Don't be dipping and dabbling. That's right, Barry.
God is so good. We're going to talk about dibbling and dabbling, dipping and dabbling and all of that stuff.
Yeah, we dibble and dabble.
Be transparent. Is that all right?
Be transparent, baby.
He gave me permission. Y'all heard him. Okay, so we had a situation in our marriage when we first got married. The mother of his child, she was like trying to control him in such a way in order for him to see his child. You breathing hard over there? Because you know what I'm about to say, right?
Oh, no, I'm not.
Okay. What you doing?
No, go ahead. Yeah, I'm just looking at the.
Okay, so this is what happened. I left out the house to go somewhere. I forgot, and I left something. So I came back in the house, and I heard my husband, not my boyfriend, not my man, not my boo thing. I heard my husband on the phone, and my husband said, "What you mean? No, I'm not in no relationship." All I was stuck. I was shocked. I was stunned. I'm like, what? So I bust in the room. I said, really, Jesse? You not in a relationship? Like, you in a whole marriage? And he was like a deer in headlights. He could not get out of that to save his life. And the thing is, it's so weird because if you don't know the person that you with, you wouldn't really know. I didn't know how to handle it, to be honest. I thought he was cheating on me. I thought it was over. Like, we just started. We finna be done already. But what it really was he was so afraid of not being in the life of his child that he was trying to keep her from knowing that he was married, because once she find out, it was gonna be bad. What you laughing about?
Ashley said,
"Babe, come on now. You can't keep cutting me off like that.
I'm not cutting you off.
So you cut me off with your laugh.
I'm sorry. Ashley,
okay.
She said I would have came up missing.
Girl, listen, it was crazy because I was like, what? Are you crazy? Clutching my pearls too, Keisha. So I was just like, oh my God. But the thing is, he was so fearful of not, like, he didn't know what to do. So instead of him being honest and saying, yes, I'm married, he told her, I'm not in a relationship, right? So I was like, I went to my homegirl house. I was so distraught. I was crying. I was just like, oh my God, I'm finna be divorced and I ain't even get married good. Oh my God, I was just going crazy, right? And then, like, somehow God worked it out, like, in me and in him, and we actually talked about it. But what happened was, she did exactly what he told me she was going to do. She was using the child as leverage to keep him, to bait him. And I was so hurt behind that. But at the same time, I had to hear God tell me, listen to this man, like, hear his heart, hear what he's really saying. And as soon as she found out, like, when he actually told her, as soon as she found out, she went straight down to child support. She made it hard for him. And now he can't even really be in the child's life like he would like to, because, and I'm not sure if it's because of that reason, but I'm sure other reasons popped up too. But it was a sad situation because I really was looking forward to getting to know this child and being in this child's life and everything, but it didn't work out like that. But like
I said, you know, and that's why I can really speak on it, and I can speak on myself. That's why, trust me, I'm delivered. God has did a thing in me, a new thing in me. But again, at that time, it was really because I was really trying to, but the crazy part was, I knew the situation. I knew that was not a healthy situation, period. First of all, I knew it wasn't a healthy situation, but because I wasn't healthy mentally,
right?
Because I wasn't healthy in my heart and my emotions, I was attracted to an unhealthy situation. And I still moved forward in that unhealthy situation.
This is before we got together.
Thinking that unhealthy situation would help me be healthy.
Wow.
But the thing is, it's not unhealthy situation that help us be healthy. It's our level and our commitment to God.
And go ahead, babe.
So because I wasn't really understanding my position, because that's what we do. We move out of position so that we miss and we get out of place. So when now is time for the deceiving, you know what I'm saying, we are not in place to actually take dominion and say, hey, listen, you are not supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? So
not.
Yeah. So the thing is, I dibbled, I wouldn't even say I dibbled and dabbed, but I emotionally, I was not strong enough to take dominion and say, this is what the situation is. But so what I did was I sugarcoated the situation so that I wouldn't have to go through.
You dipped that thing in powder, that stuff that, on what you call that stuff that be the powdered sugar?
Yeah.
You dipped it and saturated it.
I dipped it and saturated but the thing is, I already knew what I was going to, but the thing was, I the control from God, and I tried to handle it the way that I felt wasn't going to. But God was saying, "Listen, I want you to do this anyway. This is what how I wanted you to." I don't know how God would have delivered the situation or worked it out if I really gave it to Him, but I took control over myself and I messed it up. But thank God I got a wife that understands. Hey Gladys. You know,
Gladys, it's good to see you.
I thank God that God gave me a wife that is a praying wife, because she could have been that uneasy, and like Ashley said, I would have been the one pop up missing.
Before we go into Ashley's question, I want to
No, never let that happen, Ashley. Never.
What happened?
She said, "Have you ever let your baby mama verbally No, never.
He's never let anyone verbally or anything disrespect me.
Never.
No.
That would never happen.
He never have, even when he was. See, and it's a few things that I heard, but
but the thing was, this is why I did certain things, because I protected her.
That was, and you know what's so weird? His way of protecting me was so dysfunctional, but it made sense in his head.
Yeah.
It's weird. But anyway, Keisha said God's grace is really sufficient. Yes, it is. Because, and y'all know, I'm gonna say this. That's why two things. It's very important that you don't tell the wrong people what you're going through. Because had the wrong people who really loved me knew that, they wouldn't be listening to the deliverance that's coming from Him today. That's number one. And number two, you have to make sure, sometimes women, we have to just take what we're going through to God. We cannot say anything until we are delivered from a situation, and then you could tell your testimony. Only one person in this whole entire world knew what I just expressed right now. And she gave, the one thing she said to me was, first of all, this is before I even said anything. She said, first of all, we ain't going to use the D word. She said, no matter what y'all going through right now, we not going to use the D word. She was a really, really good friend to me. She said, we're not going to even mention divorce. Because in my heart, I'm saying, and I didn't want to say it out loud. For some reason, I felt like if I said it out loud, it made it true. But I was like, oh, my God.
Thank you. Watching from New Zealand. Thank you. Nadia,
thank you. It's so good to see you, Nadia. Y'all listen, and this is the thing. Like, when you in a marriage, when you're in a relationship, you have to know that person you're in a relationship with. Like the video we just showed, the guy, he did not take into consideration who she truly said she was, and she told him what she was capable of. She wasn't mistreating the child and making the child feel different. She just rewarded the children that was behaving, and she corrected the child that wasn't by putting him in timeout, not letting him get candy, and things like that.
But he said, I won't be with you if you don't change how you treat my son.
And you know what she came back with?
Well,
teach your son to listen.
First of all, you shouldn't have been with her like that in the first place. You shouldn't have been with her like that.
But it's done.
They moved in. You should not have been with her. Yeah. Again, and I tell people this all the time. When you're dating, and I don't know why the first thing we think that we need to do when we're dating, that we have to move in together.
Yeah.
That is how you mess things up.
That's how it messes.
Because now what you do is, you, instead of enjoying the dating, now you're playing house.
Come on.
You're playing house.
Come on. The dating process is the funnest part.
That's the excitement.
And then you move in together. Now y'all become husband and wife. Now it's bills, responsibilities.
You take that away.
Being a mother to children you're not married to the man with, and vice versa.
That's right, Barry.
It's just
we say this all the time. I'm gonna say this until it registers. Stop moving in with each other before married.
We did it, and it destroyed everything. All the fun we was having.
Nadia said this is her first time watching. She's loving your real words.
Nadia, we want you to share this with your friends in New Zealand. You feel like will get value from this.
Thank you so much, Nadia. Thank you so much.
So at the end of the day, I could not be with Pastor Jay had I not got to know him enough to understand when he told me the reason behind why he did what he did, that he wasn't fluffing me. Because I don't do fluff good. Don't lie to me. Don't make me out to be the dumb chick. That was always my sayings, right? But God put me in a situation where I had to have grace, and I had to go to God and say, what do I do about this? Because I don't know what to do. Help me to be a wife in this situation. I have no clue how to respond. Should I listen to him and what he just said as the truth? Because right now I'm not really trusting nothing he got coming out of his mouth, because he just lied, so it was a lot that was going on. And God, like Keisha said, his grace is so sufficient. It's not no insufficient funds in his grace. It's always grace for situations, and he helped me.
Thank you, Gladys. Thank you. My daughter's on.
Oh my Lord, it was hard.
Listen, y'all. We thank y'all for those that we got some new people that was coming in, man, from New Zealand. Nadia, my daughter Gladys, Ashley, of course, Barry. We just want to thank y'all,
you guys,
man. We thank y'all for really supporting us, and we're actually getting ready, y'all, in September. In September, y'all, we're getting ready. We're going live. We're gonna do
live
Shift Raw. We're gonna do Shift Real Talk live.
Yes,
really live. We're gonna have a live audience, a live band, and we're gonna be going live. We're gonna go
where
live.
You could be a part of the livest audience.
So Gladys, we're gonna get you, tell you where it's gonna be, and
bring your people out.
Bring your people out, man.
We want to hear some, and all that stuff.
We're going live, but listen, y'all.
Oh wait, we have one more church announcement.
Listen, if y'all want to be a blessing,
wait, babe, I didn't finish my church announcement.
Okay, come on.
Okay, so our sister podcast is coming this week. Well, we're gonna air on Tuesdays at 1:00. Real Talk is just taking over Tuesdays. So Tuesdays at 1:00, we're gonna air our first Real Talk Chicks podcast, where Real Talk Chicks are coming at you from all sides. We coming at you with chick chat, with what we do. So I'm excited about that. So listen, we're gonna make sure we give you the information. But Tuesdays at 1:00, we are coming to you with the Shift Real Talk Chicks. It's gonna be hot. We got New York's point of view.
Hold on, wait a minute. But I hate to cut you off, but I gotta say this.
Okay, talk to me.
Nadia. Oh my God, this is awesome. She says, I was on drugs, lost all of my kids to the system, never gone to church, never believed. One day went to church, please my ex's family. That same day, never touched drugs again. Got my kids home, love the Lord now. Yes.
Come on, Nadia, with the testimony. That's what I'm talking about.
Nadia, listen.
Man.
One thing, sometimes God gets our attention to get us to that burning bush experience that he had with Moses. And a lot of times things happen not because God is trying to destroy us, but he's trying to get our attention.
Yes.
So and the thing is, sometimes he'll never get our attention if trouble doesn't happen. So sometimes it takes some trouble for us to really now cry out to God, because sometimes things just distract us and we're going our way and we're doing whatever we want to do and we're not even looking at God. But he's like, listen, I'm trying to get your attention so he allows certain things to happen just to get your attention.
And Nadia, listen, if you ever wanted to know what your purpose is, you just look at what you've been through. And that's going to be in line with it, because the only reason why Pastor Jay and I can sit in this seat today and talk to people about relationships, whether you single or whether you married, is because of what we actually went through. This was one of the hardest relationships in the beginning that I've ever been through.
Yes, we can.
But we made God the center at some point, and we stopped trying to work it out ourselves, and he did what he did. And I'm happy. Like the hardest part was the beginning, and the fruit of the labor, baby. That thing's so sweet.
So Nadia, my God. Nadia, what we're gonna do, man? We're gonna lift you up in prayer.
Yes.
We're gonna keep you lifted up, and if you want, kind of just inbox us your information, and I promise you, we'll connect with you all the way in New Zealand.
Yes.
And like I said, we'll pray with you.
Yes.
We'll keep you lifted up, because we know that there's more in store for you.
Come on.
There's more in store for you. And not just bringing your kids back, but actually blessing you with a family so that you can really be in the fullness of God, in the fullness thereof. So we're going to pray. And Lord, we thank you right now. We bless your name, God. We honor you today, God.
Amazing.
We thank you for Nadia all the way out in New Zealand, God. You know her situation right now, God. We asking you, God, to just touch, heal, set free, deliver, God, restore, God. We know that you are a God of us, not a second chance, but not a third chance, but you are the only chance, God. So we thank you right now, God, for just being who you are, God. You are our healer, God. You are our way maker, God. You are everything that you are everything we need you to be, God. So we're thanking you and we're believing you right now, God. That for everybody that was on this live today, God, we thank you and we believe that, God. We said some things, God, that hope that set some captives free, that destroyed some yokes, that broke some burdens, God, that just really just set some people free. So we're thanking you right now, God, as we continue desire to be different but yet impactful. In Jesus' name we pray. So we asking you guys, if you want to be a blessing, just send a little to help us to do the ministry that we got. Our Cash App is Shift Movement, $Shift Movement.
Yeah.
And it just helps us to keep going.
And just to end it all, listen, tonight our topic was you treat my child different. And the thing that I want to leave everyone with is this. First, you have to treat your child like they're valuable. And you have to train up the child in the way they should go. And you have to be the one to instill a certain discipline in your child. And then be careful who you bring around your children, because everybody's not going to treat your child nice or right. But the ones that you choose for your village, allow them the opportunity to help in raising, because we have made a mess of our children and it's not their fault. It's our fault. Because children going to do what they can get away with. And we know that. We need to guide our children again as their parents. We have a kingdom culture, a kingdom agenda, and we have a culture agenda. We here at Shift Real Talk, we're about the kingdom agenda, the original plan that God gave parents over the children. We are about raising up our kids in the way that they should go to be prosperous and successful and to be peculiar people, because the world is going to look at our children when they are in kingdom mindset as citizens, and they're going to be like, no, But you have to raise your children to stand on principles from the word of God, because God says that's where life is.
Yeah, you can sow also through Zelle. The telephone number through Zelle is 678-988-7927. 678-988-7927. You can also sow through Zelle.
Listen, oh my God.
Thank you so much, Nadia. That means so much. Man, but listen, y'all. Listen, man, we thank y'all. We thank you guys
so much. We love y'all, man.
Remember this, y'all. Remember this, that all things are possible.
All things.
All things are possible.
Nadia's story proves it.
All things are possible.
That's right.
And in him, everything is possible.
Everything.
So we thank you guys for tuning in with us. Like I said, if you want to be a blessing to really help continue this ministry, we thank you. Whatever you give, we appreciate it. If
it's a like, if it's a share.
If it's a like and a share.
We appreciate and love you for it.
And we thank you for everybody who tuned in tonight.
So listen, until next Tuesday, we want to say we love you and we'll see you then. Peace.
Thanks for watching.